Hey guys, so finally got to watch Kaathal the Core, the Malayalam movie starring Mamuka and Jyotika. I actually like the movie. It is a slow, typical this kind of realistic, uh, very. In Tamil, there is this word called Yadharthamana. I'm trying to think of the right word in English. Very natural, uh, not just portrayal, everything about the movie. So, I don't think any other movie industry portrays the conservative society that India is uh, as such. Like starting from how sons talk with their dads in real like in India, like what kind of like after a certain age, like they don't talk much, right? Like they don't even look at each other in some families, right? So it's still a very conservative society. At least I'm talking about the southern part of India. And there is no there's things that are taboo or not at all discussed. Forget about it's that's how it is. Like we just don't talk about these things. Say all you want. It's like the complete opposite of what they show in the typical Bollywood movies or in the Telugu movies. I'm talking about the reality, right? The reality is much more conservative, and we don't talk about those things openly with anybody. Maybe with our friends, but like when it comes to family and whatnot, we don't do that. And I don't think any other movie industry portrays that, captures that so beautifully, apart from the Malayalam industry. And like, so spoiler alert, like if you have not watched the movie, don't watch this video. So this movie is about this sexually unsatisfied female, portrayed by Jyotika, filing a divorce petition against Mammootty's character, who plays a gay man who's having an affair, right? So hardly there is any what do you call that, anger or any high emotion, any you know drama, anything like that. There's nothing like that. Nothing of that sort of happens in the movie. All because it's the topic is so taboo. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody openly even discusses it. There is not even a single scene in this movie where they show, you know, guys, two guys in bed, or there is nothing like that in the movie. It is all conveyed through dialogues, and that is enough. I didn't like you don't need to show everything, right? Like you can that this movie is one of those examples where you can show, like you don't need to show everything explicitly. You can just imply, convey it through dialogues. And this movie has done a really wonderful job in that. In fact, like in the final scene when Mammootty says apologizes to Jyotika's character, and then she says like, will you sleep with me this one last time? And then he says like, in the Devame. I was like, oh, Mabuka. It was so moving. The scene was so moving. And even the courtroom scene, be it the courtroom scene or be it the the dialogues between Jyotika's brother and her, the dialogues between Jyotika's father-in-law and her, Mammootty's dad. Mm, everybody, everything is so like very realistically portrayed. There's no exaggeration or anything of that sort, right? So in that in that respect, I actually liked the movie. But there's this one problem that I found in the movie, right? I did it. I wasn't convinced. There's this one particular thing. This has got to do with maybe the writing itself. I'm not sure if this is based on a true story or anything like that. Although I don't think it could have been could have been based on a true story because it is all way too convenient, for the lack of a better word. Now, what I'm trying to say is, we are not all benevolent beings. We are humans. Humans are flawed beings, right? So, I wonder. I don't understand why. So this gay dude portrayed by Mammootty, he has an extramarital affair because he's gay, right? And it's but Jyotika, uh, she is not having any affair. She files a divorce petition. She's obviously not physically satisfied, so that's the reason she's filing it. But I fail to understand that she's portrayed as this really ideal, benevolent being, who does no harm, who knows no um, hatred, who just cannot hate anybody. I couldn't believe the see, while I really liked the movie for how realistically it was directed and whatnot. I'm talking about anthropologically, right? Like from a behavioral perspective, this is what I think would have happened in the real world. Mammootty's character would have like Mammootty's character is in engaging in an extramarital affair. Jyoti's character would have involved in an extramarital affair. Maybe the love interest that she had before she got married to Mammootty, right? And then they would have continued, or else like she would have developed this kind of passive aggressiveness, and then exposed Mammootty for what he is. Maybe did some character assassination or whatnot. Because see, I'm not trying to say women are bad. I'm just trying to say realistically, this is what would have happened in the real world, because sex is a fundamental need for everybody. Like there's this one hierarchy, the pyramid there is really popular. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? In that, physiological needs come at the very bottom of the pyramid. Like if that is not satisfied, you won't even go further to the next stage. So sex is a fundamental need. It's a physical need. So if that is not met, a human mind goes crazy, right? So there's no way that this female character would have waited for like 20 years and then silently filed a divorce, all because for all the 20 years Indian law didn't support. All these are convenient, ways to write the story and portray the characters. There's this one scene in the court, right, where this a lawyer argues that, Oh, we feel sorry for the gay people. Instead, we should actually feel for the sorry for the women who are suffering this and that. You know, all that is fine. But if this has happened in the real world, it would have been totally different. I'm saying, right? It's not like, I'm sure there are such cases in the real world, but the law is not going to stop them from having an affair. Like you think affair, Indians don't have affairs? That's what you're trying to say? What the fuck is this? It is immature. See, just because you want to, make a case for, gay people, and that is all fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but then don't give me this bullshit that women have been suffering, and silently, it should have been done long time ago. No, it's not the case. Like, obviously, because it's you need a human mind doesn't work that way. Like, if a need is not met, you're obviously going to find that elsewhere, right? And it's not like what's stopping, like, people in the straight people in marriages have extramarital affairs? Do you think it won't happen in such a case? I wasn't convinced. Like, see, when see the that's what, like, I was a bit disappointed with, because they what they say about Malayalam cinema. There's a lot of writers in Malayalam cinema. There's dedicated writers, and then they realistic movies and this and that. But how convenient this female character has been written, kind of shocks me. You just look at it from her perspective, right? Why would she wait? Why would she not have an extramarital affair? It's beyond me, right? It, no, nobody is that good, because we are all human. There could be such people, like one in a thousand or one in a million. But don't make movies about exceptions, right? Make movies about general, like the general people. That is why I'm saying, like, I don't know what else to say. Again, that's just my opinion. As a movie, was okay. The way they portrayed, like, this kind of taboo subject, and I really appreciate even Mammootty for playing such a role. But if you ask me, it's not necessarily like, a lot of things are conveniently written, is what I've tried to say, what I would say. All right, I'll see you guys in another reaction video. Bye bye.